Okay, so the last video is Mrs. Reinke talking to you about starting out our Unit 1 here. I want to scroll down to example 3 now. Here we go. Now remember, I'm always focusing on these questions over here. And I know that last year also, think about what you already know. Mr. York would say rewrite, split, inverse, RSI. I'm not going to make you rewrite it, so we're just going to split, and we're going to do the inverse. Those of you that had the other teachers remembered making a T. The T makes me nervous because a lot of times kids don't draw the T down far enough, so make sure you give that a lot of space, because both of those these questions just help you if you get lost. So if you're good with that, you can move forward with what you know. And if you don't really remember last year, then we'll talk about what's the variable. In this case, the variable is y. Is it alone? No. As you can see, y on this side of the equal sign has a +6. So why is it not alone? It's being added. I always struggle with that. Why does that happen? Go away. All right, so the opposite of +6 is -6, and whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. That means that your +6 and your -6 make 0, so that goes away, and we bring down the y on the left side. And on the right side, you want to look really carefully. You have two negatives. So when you type that into your calculator, I want you to type in exactly what you see. -14 minus 6. Because they're both negative, same signs, add and keep, this is -20. All right, example 4. Again, we're going to think about splitting. What's our variable? It is a. Notice it's on the other side that it was in example 3. So we have to pay attention to that and always find our variable. Is that variable alone over here? It is not. So why not? It's being added to 10, and the opposite of add 10 is subtract 10. These 10s, positive and negative, go to 0. We bring down our a. And be careful here, you want to make sure to type into your calculator exactly what you see, 3 minus 10. And that comes out to be -7. All right, something's a little different in this one. It's not hugely different, but in all of the other problems, notice that it was always y plus 6, a plus 10, b plus 8. This one has something plus x. Your process is going to be the same. We're going to split. Is the variable alone? It is not. Why not? Okay. It's being added to 10, but the key that you need to notice is that it's got a positive 10 out here, all right? And that's how you know that you have to do -10 minus 10. If that a number up front was a negative, you'd have to do plus. So you always have to look at the sign in front. The sign in front of the number goes with it. So this comes out to be x equals 5. Notice I always like to circle my answer. All right, so you guys know that doing our calculations is really to lead us to real life. And so we call these word problems real life problems because this is stuff people actually figure out. On your notes, you have cubs written over here. Especially if you're struggling, thinking about this process of cubs can be really helpful. So let's read it through and circle all of our numbers. The highest recorded temperature in Canandaigua, New York is 101 degrees Fahrenheit. This is 124 degrees higher than the lowest recorded temperature. Find the lowest recorded temperature. All right, so now we have circled our two numbers. We're going to underline the question. The question is usually after the word find, how many, or how much. And so here's our find. Find the lowest recorded temperature. And that leads us exactly to our let statement. Let x equal lowest recorded temperature. I ran out of room. Oops. So now we're down to boxing in our key words. We're looking for those key math words that are over on the wall in my room. Okay. The highest recorded temperature in Canandaigua, New York is 101 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't see any big mathy math words there. This is referring to the 101, right? This, the thing that was just asked, is, when you say something is a number, that's an equals. Okay. 124 degrees higher than. If it's higher than, that means we're going to be adding, right? All right. So higher than the lowest recorded temperature. So lowest recorded temperature is X. We have something being 124 degrees higher is 101. And that's how we translate it. And that's why I think these steps are really, really helpful. Okay? So now we're going to go to our process. Split is the variable alone. It is not. So we're going to do the opposite of plus 124, which is minus 124. Positive and negative 124 makes 0, so I just bring down my x. And then I want you to be sure to type into your calculator 101 minus 124. It's a negative number, negative 23. Go back and think about what you were looking for. You were looking for a lowest recorded temperature. Does this make sense? Would my low temperature be a negative number? Yeah, it does. So negative 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you label it. And you could even say, is the lowest recorded temperature. I'm just going to write lowest temp because I'm running out of room. All right, great. Next one, again, I'm going to remind you to keep this process of cubs in mind, especially if you're confused. All right. Last Friday, Trevon had $29. Over the weekend, he received some money for cleaning the attic. He now has $41. How much did he receive? So I circled my numbers, and now I'm going to underline my question. Remember, the question is usually after the words find, how many, or how much. How much did he receive? I'm going to let X equal amount of money he received. Okay, all right. Now we're going to box in our keywords. Last Friday, Trevon had $29. Over the weekend, he received some money for cleaning the attic. If you receive money, that does what? Adds to what you already have. And he now has 41. So we're going to have 29 plus some amount he received, and now he has 41. Then we go through our process. Split is the variable alone. It is not. That 29 is out front. What sign is it? It's a positive 29, so we're going to subtract 29 from both sides. That makes these 0, which means the x comes down by itself. And I really encourage you to use your calculator. 41 minus 29 is 12. Okay, so don't forget what we were asking. How much money did he receive? So I'm going to actually just type in here somewhere. Trayvon received, how do I spell that? $12 over the weekend. Okay. All right, so now you should be able to do some practice in the homework of lesson 4, which is on pages 7 and 8.